On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are here with a car that's not mine at all to work on something that's kind of cool. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and today I'm here with Jared, who of course I've worked with on a bunch of cars. You know, he bought my old 2018 diesel and we did the deal to get the new one and everything like that. But today we have his wife's car here, a 2011 Audi S5 with the V8, and some of you guys will be excited about this, a Manuel. So it's got the wiggle stick so you can have some fun while you're driving, and today it needs CarPlay. So obviously MMI is a very old interface on these things. It's pretty interesting. You guys have seen it many times on like my R8 and things like that. Well, apparently this is a drop-in module to convert it to CarPlay. So today we're gonna try to get this thing installed and add some, some modern functionality to this old car. So first of all, I'll show you guys MMI one time. It's a bit awkward, and having CarPlay in here, I think, will make it about 100 times better. All right, so we'll hit start, and we're not gonna start the engine or anything. We just wanna turn this thing on. Hopefully the beeping stops in a second. I think it will. So this is MMI. It's, from the old iDrive vintage days. It's dated, but it had the skeuomorphic look and it works. So I don't know, you don't mind it when you're in here, but it's not good like CarPlay or modern infotainment. That's the main thing. So this has HD radio, which is pretty cool. And you've got your external audio source, and right now you have the cable to the iPod 30-pin adapter, and from 30-pin to a Bluetooth adapter, and that's how they get audio from the phone into the infotainment right now. Hey, it's got a built-in jukebox too, and dual SD cards for music. Man, look at that. That is, what a monster. You have everything in here. All right, so if we go back to like radio, I'll show you guys around it real quick here. You basically hit these buttons here. They correspond with these buttons on the screen. So if you want to go to like manual tuning, you push the bottom corner, and then you spin this knob around, and then you push in on the knob, which is a lot of work. You have to really push in on the knob too. Oh, and it has phone Bluetooth, but it doesn't have music in Bluetooth, so you have to like connect both Bluetooths. Well, let's try to add CarPlay to this thing. Let's open this up, see what we're getting into. I have no idea what we're getting into here, and go from there. I'm pretty sure we'll just have to get a lot of the dash apart and then hook this module up, and it should just all start working. Road top retrofit kit decoder, wireless link, AirPlay and CarPlay function. Oh dude, if this has AirPlay, you can play movies on the screen. That is way cooler than just CarPlay.
For sure.
All right, let's open this up. So it's got a very Apple-esque box here, just because it fits tight and they made it pretty clean. There we go. The cable connection for Q5 plus Q5U. And here is our module. Toggle switches, video, HDN. Wow, you can shove an HDMI input in this so you can have a PlayStation or something. It's pretty cool. And then CAN in. All right, what else is in the box? Cables. Interesting. So aux in. This looks like the factory T-harness that goes between the radio and the module and back to the factory harness. Looks like a little Wi-Fi antenna right there, a bunch of extra inputs, and maybe these T to the factory, the car's harnesses. I'm not sure. All right, let's figure out what we gotta do. Well, I didn't have the tools to remove the radio out of the Audi, so I tried to make them. I actually do have them, I just have no idea where they're at. So I took this credit card, this old gift card here, cut it up, and tried to make this tool basically. And that did not work. So I ended up running over to the Car Ninjas and grabbing his entire kit of radio removal tools. And now we do have the radio removed. One more thing before we jump back in to show you that. You do have to set the dip switches up on this for the car you're putting it in. So we have OEM parking sensors, so it should be off, and OEM Bluetooth, so those should be off. That's 7 and 8. And we have all the other switches set up for the 09 to 12 A4, A5, Q5, which also includes the S6. And now that we've got the radio removal tools in here, it released. It's nice doing this with a manual. You don't have to turn the car on and off 50 times. And now we can remove the MMI system. There's no expiration date. You're actually good here. Would you want me to just put it back?
Yeah.
It hasn't expired yet.
No expiration date?
Yeah, it says expiration date. Made in Germany. So we have the MMI head unit removed there, and it looks like the optical is actually right there, even though this has old school optical provisions in it as well, up there in that top corner. Tons of wiring, tons of antennas. Let's take a quick look at that side. You can see this is where the optical would go on some cars, but this one, it is inside this connector here. There's all the fiber for the audio system. And all of these are antennas. And these wires here off the bottom are traction control and comfort buttons. So you'll want to get these ones off first and then just keep going through all the connectors. This one's one of those big giant cam lock connectors. So as soon as you unlock the cam, it'll slide right out. So there you go, the MMI is out. Let's figure out where we're gonna put this. It looks like there's a bunch of room back down in front of the climate control, forward of the climate control. So we'll hide the module in there and start tying everything in. All right, guys, we plugged everything in real quick. We needed to do a test run before I finalized this thing, and boy, am I glad we did, because we immediately found a problem. No matter what we did in here, we could not get the lights or the CAN bus control for all of the MMI controls to start working. But after unplugging and plugging in that connector a few times, because this is Chinese, it's pretty cheap, it's like 300 bucks or something. They didn't really do a great job on this connector. In fact, it's actually kind of squished up, so it's got some curvature to it. So what we're gonna do, now that we know what the problem is put a zip tie through that connector and then tighten it as tight as we can so this never backs off and causes this to stop working. But what's cool about this thing is it has full AirPlay and CarPlay, and if you take a look now, they've got AirPlay while they drive down the road. They can watch YouTube, Netflix, whatever. Not that they do that. That's what they do while the car is parked and not in motion, as you guys would expect. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. AirPlay and CarPlay are a winning combination. You go into the settings, you disconnect CarPlay, and then you switch over to a Wi-Fi network that this thing presents, and just like that, you've got full AirPlay. So you can mirror your entire screen on your phone, tablet, whatever you want. Even your laptop. Your car can become a second monitor for your laptop, just like that. And you can see it works just fine in Inception. Connector. How awesome is that? You can hear me talking while me are talking. All right, now we're gonna clean up all these wires, get this thing mounted down underneath the climate control, and start putting everything back together. So it works. I would definitely recommend doing a test run before you just slap this thing in here and find out that it doesn't work the way you expect. And even better, you can use MMI to navigate all of CarPlay. You can also use the steering wheel controls to navigate all of CarPlay in here. It's really nice. After a little bit of work, we've got everything massaged into place, zip tied up. So everything has nice factory tested tape on it for the most part. And the module itself, you can see, is hiding way back in there and zip tied in. So it's underneath, basically underneath the climate control. It took a little bit of work to make that actually slide down underneath. And now we're ready to put the head unit in and plug everything back in for the last time. So let's see if it works. Give me a couple seconds. We got it all together, guys. And just one quick tip, getting that basically T connector, which is the same connector that's on the back of the system that you plug the factory harness into, it takes up a lot of room back there, I gotta say. So it's pretty normal, but that connector is huge, you know, it's like 2 by 2. What we had to do to get all of it back together was pull the climate control back out. Luckily, it's not dependent on the other one. Like a lot of these things stack up. If you've done a lot of these dashes, like the radio will come out first, and then this will have a lip on it. That way there's zero gap between them, and then this will have a lip on it. Well, the Audi doesn't, so we were able to pop the climate control back out, which just snaps in and out, and then reach back there, move the connector down, and slide MMI back in, and then snap the climate in, and it's all together, and it's all working. So that's all you have to do to put CarPlay in an older Audi, and it makes a big difference, I can tell you that. The dash looks newer, the car, it does everything you want because you have your music in the car, and before, Jared, you were saying the Bluetooth adapter didn't even work, right? Yeah, so now you're just good to go. Well, hopefully your wife's happy.
Absolutely.
Have fun.
You, sir.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna take this back over to the Car Ninja and we'll wrap this thing up. Jared is out of here. Man, they sound good too. that is cool. Let's get the garage open any second now. You can add aftermarket backup cameras and front cameras, and then you don't have to switch back to the car. So, all right, have fun. Well, I'm headed over to Harbor Freight to pick up some new tools, and then we'll start on the next job of the day, but I think that's gonna be another video. There's always more to do, and hopefully I can get 2 other people's cars fixed today. A wild Jake has appeared to do an oil change. You guys know how it is. As soon as your lifts go up, the phone calls start rolling in. No, we had already planned on getting this done. This is MKX. Yep. It's slightly
2009, 3.5 liter Vulcan? Or no, Duratec.
I think it needs a drain plug.
Yeah, these threads look weird.
Just based on the fact that it's covered in oil. I was like, I wouldn't be behind it. Wow, are you running water for oil?
This is 520, supposed to be.
Look at all the metal coming out of that.
You're joking.
I'm not joking one bit, unless it was already on the pan, but there's copper running down the pan.
No.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, there's still
It's in the oil.
So what does that mean?
You said it was sounding bad, right?
Well, it's been running a little rough.
Well, guys, it seems like we might have found a bit of bad news. I don't think this pan was covered in copper filings or anything like that, but a lot of copper showed up while we were draining the oil down. And there's a chance that this ended up with some previous rod bearing failure engine in it, but I don't really think so. So we're gonna do the one thing that I hate doing, cut open an oil filter. So we got the oil filter cutter out, and as soon as this thing stops draining down, Jake's gonna do some magic, cut the end off that thing, and we're gonna look at the filter element and see if it's full of the forbidden jewelry metal.
no magnet on this.
No magnet. Pretty common, unfortunately.
Yeah. I thought that maybe if it had like had issues before, like maybe the guy that sold it to us knew that it had problems.
And that's why he sold it to me.
It might have had a magnet in it or something.
Yep, for sure. All right, busting out the old oil filter cutter. Somehow Jake has completely covered himself in oil, as you guys can see. Yeah, your arms are...
Yeah.
You were swimming in it, dog. And then as you go, just keep tightening it like it's a pipe cutter.
Yeah, I was loosening it, so hold on.
Ah, yes, loosening it.
Please hold.
That's also a formula. Oh, this filter's so hot. I wish we could wait, but we're almost through it. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. I gotta get a new grip. Pulled the filter right out of my hands. Okay, go. I wish we had an oil filter vise, or even a vise. Okay, you're through. Ooh. Is that enough? Yeah, I think so. Okay, here.
There we go.
I can't tell if it's brake clean or... You see that? A little milky. Well, we'll just keep letting that drain down for a moment and grab some pliers, and we'll cut this thing open or rip out the filter element and hopefully see. It doesn't look that bad, honestly.
I've seen worse come out of like small block Chevys.
Well, but small block Chevys don't use tolerances. It's not real to them.
Yeah.
They're
quarter inch plus or minus a full inch.
That's right. They're literally garbage and they keep running. We'll win.
Goodness.
Well, you have to rip the ends off anyway if you want to see inside the element. There you go. Look inside there. It actually looks great other than the sludge deposits.
Yeah.
Sludge deposits are a little unfortunate because it might not have had full synthetic in it.
Yeah.
We're not seeing any metal down inside the filter, guys.
No, like...
Well, you need the other side of the element.
Oh.
So now what you have to do is just rip it out of there. And most people cut it out with a razor blade. Feel free to cut it out. Or you can just start pulling and try to rip the filter out. It's definitely not easy.
Ow.
But as you do this, it's probably super hot.
Ow.
Yeah, so as you do this, you'll crush the oil out of it as well, which will be nice. Not a single thing. Where did this copper come from? Where did it come from? Where did it go? Yeah. Oil filter disassembly.
Grr, man, it's so hot.
Oh yeah, you can put it down if you want.
I
Here,
think he's determined.
put one of these in each hand. And these are gloves. I actually own gloves. I don't know what we're doing. All right,
So it says here on the map that we need to go north, but it looks great.
hop in here.
Da-da-da. As the scrolls foretold,
Where did the metal come from? There's no metal in the filter.
it's like one piece right there.
Yeah, and one piece right there, but that's not damage.
Yeah, that's normal.
So that one's fine. That accordion.
It's fine after all.
Maybe it's fine after all.
I think we let it go till the next oil change and then
See what
Reevaluate.
happens
figure
then.
out what life is.
Still, it is hot.
Maybe Honda CRVs will be cheap by then.
Jake's
At least gives me time to have a vehicle until I need to figure something out.
yeah.
Figure something out.
I need to
should say.
just buy you a manual element.
Did you?
Flip it
Sorry.
in the face with it.
This filter's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just making copper.
Fill it up. Fill it up. You got the copper maker in there, and
Yeah, just wanted pennies.
the opposite of what you want from a coffee maker.
So we've got the high mileage full synth.
Good stuff.
My go-to for old cars. It's expensive, but it's expensive.
Well, after tearing that filter down, we didn't see really any metal inside of it, so we're gonna go ahead and say this thing's good to go, and after starting it up, it sounds wonderful, no rod knock. So you guys are gonna send it?
Till next oil change.
Send it. All right, have fun. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts like this, and please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you wanna do, and I will talk to you next time.